welcome back to our channel. What if the man you trusted, the man who raised you, protected you, and built an empire everyone admired, had been hiding a shocking secret for decades? What if everything that made you feel safe was suddenly tainted with betrayal? In this shocking episode, a buried truth explodes at the heart of the Hamilton family, ripping apart the perfect facade and exposing a shocking scandal that could destroy everything. Tonight, we take you to the bottom of a forbidden secret that no one saw coming. Hold your breath, because what you're about to witness will change every perception you've ever had. On a seemingly peaceful evening at the Hamilton family mansion, where crystal chandeliers glittered like silent witnesses to decades of secrets and lies, where marble floors reflected an illusion of perfection that existed only on the surface, Kat walked slowly down the hallway after dinner. She intended to retire early, but then she remembered that she had left a file in her study that she would need tomorrow. The silence in the mansion was almost eerie, the kind that defied the belief that nothing bad could happen between its ornate walls. But as she approached the West Wing, where Bill's private office was located, a faint sound from the room that should have been locked made her pause. Her instincts, honed by years of living in a world where appearances often concealed betrayal, told her that something was wrong. The door was unlocked. Someone was inside. Kat pushed the door open quietly, and the sight before her sent a chill through her body. Tomas, the man the family knew only as an outsider, was hunched over Bill's desk, rummaging through papers, drawers, and files as if searching for something of great importance. Tomas had always struck her as a little off. He had a quiet, heavy presence, his unreadable gaze lingering too long whenever Bill's name was mentioned. But Kat had never expected him to do this, to sneak into the private office, in the dark, to violate the most sacred boundaries of this house. For a moment, Tomas didn't notice her presence, but Kat's soft footsteps startled him. When he turned back, his face was bathed in the dim yellow light of his desk, and what she saw was not shame or remorse, but panic, a primal panic that suggested that what he was hiding was far more than a simple wrongdoing. Kat, calm and sharp as ever, immediately demanded an explanation. She was not to be fooled, and the tension in the room was suffocating as Tomas stammered out vague excuses. He spoke of missing documents, of unfinished work, of hasty preparations, but none of it could justify his presence in a room that only two people in the house had access to: Bill and Kat herself. She pressed, her voice sharp, her gaze fierce. Silence fell, a wordless battle between a man on the brink of collapse and a woman who refused to be deceived. And then, unable to bear it any longer, Tomas collapsed. His shoulders heaved, his lips trembled, and in a voice filled with years of pent-up pain, he blurted out the impossible truth: he was not an outsider. He was Bill's biological son. The room seemed to shrink, the air heavy and oppressive, as if the very walls were shaking from the shock. Kat froze, her mind reeling with questions. She looked at Tomas, his eyes aching, his heart bleeding, and slowly, the jumbled pieces of the puzzle in her mind began to fit together. The awkward tension between Tomas and Bill, the wary glances, the strange familiarity she had overlooked, none of it was coincidence. It was a cover, a mask, a lie built of fear, pride, and shame. Tomas says he lived his whole life in the shadow of a father who refused to acknowledge him. He was the product of an affair that Bill had buried for years, while Bill built an empire, built the image of a perfect family. Tomas and his mother lived on the sidelines, in silence and bitterness. His mother, the only woman who ever loved Bill, died of illness, carrying the pain of betrayal. Before she died, she told Tomas the truth. And since then, he has tried every way to approach his father, but was rejected. Unanswered letters, hang-up calls, ignored appearances. And yet, Tomas did not give up. He lived near Bill, in the shadows, just to see him, to feel a little close. But time waits for no one. Bill was weakening, and if Tomas didn't speak up now, he might never hear an explanation from his father. Kat listened quietly, her mind a jumble of emotions. She wasn't Bill's biological child, but he had adopted her, protected her, and mentored her. She had believed him to be strong, principled, and right. But now she was faced with a painful truth: Bill had abandoned his child. Not because he didn't know, but because he chose to ignore it. He feared scandal. He feared destroying the image he had built. And he had paid for it with the lifelong pain of an innocent child. Kat felt betrayed, not just on Tomas' behalf, but on her own. For she had believed in a legend who now turned out to be a flawed human being. Still, she couldn't deny that deep down. But at the same time, it was also a chance to heal, if only someone was brave enough to face it. And perhaps, that person would be her. But the biggest question remains: when a secret is exposed, will it destroy everything, or will it save what's left? A truth that can shatter trust, reputation, and legacy. And now Kat holds the trigger. The storm is just beginning. And the Hamilton family is right in the middle of it. What happens next could change everything forever. If you were stunned by tonight's shock, don't miss what's next. The secrets are deeper, the betrayals more painful, and the consequences darker than ever. Stay tuned and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a moment. The truth is emerging, and it's getting more intense.